Hey guys, welcome back to our second part. The connection between the last part and this part. This is us continuing our discussion on street wines, so you can hear all the bullshit beginning to flow already. Let's see what's going on. Distracto. So the five notorious bum wines, Night Train one of them, Thunderbird is one. This one apparently ranks number one as the undisputed leader of the five in foulness of flavor. And they
Do tell.
This thing right here, it says, we highly discourage drinking this ghastly mixture of unknown chemicals unless you really are a bum.
What?
A convenience store clerk in Show Low, Arizona. And I have no idea. Look that up. I need to know where Show Low, Arizona is.
Show Low, Arizona. Okay.
Yeah, Show, SHOWLOW, 2 words, Arizona, once told me that only the oldest of stumbling drunks from the reservation buy Thunderbird. So available in a 750 milliliter and, good God, a devastating 50-ounce jug.
What? 50-ounce jug? Holy shit.
Hey, you need to degrease a diesel engine? Buy a 50-ounce jug of Thunderbird.
That's like, oh man. All right. Well, I'll unpack that in a second. But Show Low is a city in Navajo County, Arizona. It lies on the Mogollon, if I'm pronouncing it, or Mogollon, Mogollon rim in east central Arizona at an elevation of 6,345 feet. There you go.
So that is definitely going to wreck you.
It looks lovely from the pictures, though.
That altitude and that alcohol content level, that would just wreck you.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I just like devastating. That's what the jug should just be called. Buy a devastator of Thunderbird today. Just go.
Death. Good God. So it says the history of Thunderbird is as interesting as the drunken effects, right? The one, so basically it says when Prohibition ended, Ernest Gallo and his brother Julio and Joe wanted to corner the young wine market, right? Well, this was probably not the way to go, guys.
Sure.
Nobody's had a drink legally for how long, and now we're going to literally make the shittiest possible product. Ernest wanted the company to become the Campbell Soup Company of the wine industry.
Well, in that you can probably drink it out of a can, he's probably not wrong.
Exactly. So he started selling Thunderbird in the ghettos around the country.
Oh, Jesus.
Here's where we go, right? Their radio ads featured a song that sang, "What's the word? Thunderbird. How's it sold? Good and cold. What's the jive? Birds alive. What's the price? 30 twice."
So 60 cents, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It is said that Ernest once drove through a tough inner city neighborhood and pulled over when he saw a homeless person. When Gallo rolled down his window and called out, "What's the word?" the immediate answer from the bum was Thunderbird.
You know what? That sounds fun as hell. I would like to drive through areas of town and just yell that out and see if I like a good call and response. I'm a fan. I love it.
Brian
like
was never seen again.
Well, they would be very disappointed if I didn't have any Thunderbird to reward their reply to my "What's the word?" prompt. It would be like when you were a kid, and I am a little bit older than you. When the Miller Lite, I think it was Miller Lite, came out, and their slogan was "Taste great, less filling." And so anytime we had an assembly at middle school,
taste great, less filling. Taste great. This is like at a fucking elementary school too. So it's like,
it was the funniest goddamn thing in the world. I loved it so much. And teachers like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, continue, please.
So here's the tag to this, right? Thunderbird comes with a warning. It says, "Warning, this light yellow liquid," again, we described it as looking similar to, like, if you've seen a bottle of Malort, it's kind of a yellowish, clearish liqueur. This light yellow liquid turns your lips.
A golden tequila color.
Oh, yeah. This turns your lips and mouth black.
How?
It says,
how does it do that?
And then here's how it describes it. A mysterious chemical reaction similar to disappearing reappearing ink.
What the
Makes you
fuck?
look like you've been chewing on hearty clumps of charcoal.
So not only does it destroy you, but it also makes you look like you've been pan exploded in your mouth or something.
And then you can't deny that you were drinking it. Caleb, were you drinking Thunderbird again? No.
It's like when someone comes back from the bathroom with white powder under the nose. Like, no, I just was,
Right.
It was flour. They were baking cakes in there.
There was definitely some cookies being made in the bathroom. So Thunderbird.
Well, you know what? That's again all selling points. I'm very excited to one day try this magical drink.
And see, what's amazing is the way that it's written. Even though they've given us all these warnings, not one of them has discouraged me from still wanting to try it.
I know, it sounds great. It's almost like a double dog dare at this point. You're like, yeah, man,
it is.
Gotta try this.
Thunderbird, by the way, is clocking in at a 17.5% alcohol by volume. So
the same as Night Train.
Yeah, same as Night Train. So now Cisco, as we transition into Cisco, number 2 on the Notorious Bum Wine. Night Train was 3rd, by the way. So
okay.
So you've got Cisco, which clocks in at 18% alcohol by volume, is not made by Ian J. Gallo.
I'm shocked.
Cisco is bottled by the nation's 2nd largest wine company. And oh my God.
I don't even know how to begin to pronounce that word.
The Canadiagua Wine Company.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds legit.
And Canadiagua, New York, and Naples, New York, right? So this is the same company that makes another of the...
Naples, the Italy of New York.
Hey! This is the same company that makes another one of the Notorious Bum Wines, Wild Irish Rose.
No, I've heard of Wild Irish Rose before in a song, I think. And I don't remember who wrote the song, but I have heard of this one.
So this is known as liquid crack for its reputation.
Off to a good start.
For wreaking more mental havoc than the cheapest tequila.
First of all, I want to say from the picture of this website, they look like, they look fun. They look too fun to be.
To me, this looks like a whole line of like Asian cooking sauces. Like, hey, you want to make a stir fry?
Or like the stuff you'd add to like, or the stuff you'd add to like a daiquiri for fruit flavor.
100%.
Like one of those like
a mixer,
like pre-mixed things, right? Yeah. I mean, they look like they should be at any like you get those party wines at a store, but like they're right next to Barefoot wines or the Josh ones or whatever. Yeah.
Like these have like a kind of a neon quality to their color, which should tell you right off the bat not to drink it. But apparently that, that's just part of the thing. So we have a couple of different flavors here. There's strawberry, there's black cherry, there's orange, there's blue raspberry, and then there's one just simply named red.
Well, that's what you want. They should have called it like cough syrup or something.
Give me the purple one, right? I mean, like, it's not a flavor. It's just known as purple, right? Or whatever.
I wonder if they made the red one after the other ones were being sampled. So the person in charge of naming them was all like, I'm just going to call it red. I mean,
right. Because like,
whatever.
How does it differentiate itself from the strawberry one, right? It could be cherry. It could be berry. You could literally have named it anything else. They just called it red.
They're not wrong. It is very red from this picture.
So something in this syrupy hooch seems to have a synapse blasting effect, not unlike low-grade cocaine. The label insists that its ingredients are merely, and then I quote, citrus wine and grape wine with artificial flavor and artificial color. But anyone who has tried it knows better. Tales of Cisco-induced semi-psychotic fits are common. Often, people on a Cisco binge end up curled into a fetal ball, shuddering and muttering paranoid rants. Nudity and violence may also be involved as well. Anyone who drinks this feels great at first and claims, hey, it's not bad. I kind of like it.
That's where they get you.
But you really do not want to mess around with this one because they all sing a different tune a few minutes later. And by tune, I mean it's the psychotic ramblings of a raging naked bum.
Okay. Well, I got to say. Again, not dissuading me from wanting to try this. maybe not in mass quantities.
Raging naked Brian
clothes will be on. Brian will be probably passed out somewhere. But I don't want to do like a destructive amount of this, like a 50 liter jug of Cisco.
A devastator of Thunderbird.
A devastator of Thunderbird.
So apparently, let's continue this. In 1991, Cisco's tendency to cause a temporary form of inebriated insanity led the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, to require its bottlers to print a warning on the label. Right?
What?
And it says the FTC also forced them to drop their marketing slogan, "Takes you by surprise," even though it was entirely accurate.
Yeah. What are you talking about? That's
Right.
great.
So the label that they had to put on the bottle, it says, and it's a zoomed in version of this, so it's pixelated and blurry because that's how small it was.
I'd
put
like to
on
think
the
that
label.
that's actually how it's printed on there, pixelated and blurry.
Right. They stole it from something else and just photoshopped it in. Stretch that out.
It's just like a 1K. It's a 1K JPEG. They just stretched out to like fit the bottle.
It's a still shot from a GIF that they had to steal and take out of sequence. It says, "This is not a wine cooler. 8 servings."
And how many ounces are in a bottle?
That would be a great question. Why don't you figure that
That'd
out?
be great if it was 2 ounces in a bottle. 8 servings.
8 servings. So a quarter.
Eyedrop. You want to think use an eyedropper.
It's a quarter ounce. You can't even sip. That's too much. So it's, so "takes you by surprise" was their slogan. And even though it was entirely accurate, right? You can read, there's a link here, which we can put down in for ourselves. It's a link right on the website too. So it is basically the FTC's full investigation can be read at this link. And it says, since those days, Cisco is harder to find outside of the slums of any city, although the FTC's demonizing of the drink only bolstered its reputation for getting people trashed, right? Anyone who overlooks the warning and confuses this with a casual wine cooler is going to get more than they bargained for. It says, Cisco will make a new man out of you, and he wants some too.
Now, why has it got to be gender specific? I mean, it could be a new person at anybody.
New person, right? This is, I'm a guessing.
You get points off for that kind of exclusion, Cisco. What are you doing?
So, and again, here we are invoking researchers. So our research shows that I would love to get to the bottom of who their researchers are.
Hank. This guy named Hank.
He's just a dude named Hank who only operates on a 28K modem.
Hank gets 30 minutes of sleep a night and still thinks he's in Vietnam or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So our research shows that Cisco is actually the second best tasting of the 5 great bum wines, especially if you're having one of those hankerings for cheap vodka, Jello, and Robitussin.
By the way, I got to interject. Wine is doing a lot of heavy lifting in your podcast today. Wine is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
When we say wine, we don't mean something with class or with that you would serve with a nice, pairing of anything, unless, of course, you want to pair your Cisco with, as it said here, cheap vodka, Jello, and Robitussin.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
We must also note that Cisco is the best of all 5 bum wines at putting the darkest and puffiest bags under your eyes.
Ladies.
Right? Have you been working hard on your Korean skincare routine? Let Cisco undo all of that.
Mm-hmm.
This nuclear tinted color of Cisco Red is reminiscent of diesel fuel.
Jesus Christ.
Most Cisco flavors are named by the fruit flavor. Again, we already had this discussion, but they're having it now here. By the fruit flavor they're trying to emulate. But the one picture is simply called red. This chemical.
Just call it diesel fuel. That's way more intriguing than red.
I love this part. This chemical disaster will get your head spinning in no time. Test subject reports, again, this is this fake ass scientific experiment. A test subject.
Hank is legit. Leave him alone.
We're just going to start referring to Hank as test subjects or scientists. Hank reports that Strawberry Cisco has a bouquet similar to that of a Frankenberry cereal fermented in wine cooler with added sprinkle of brandy for presentation. The sticky, sickeningly sweet taste with a hint of antifreeze really comes through in the repellent taste of Cisco. Available in flavors, a 375 milliliter and 700.
Wait, did it say available in flavors, period?
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
Available in flavors.
Available in liquid.
Right.
That's good.
You get like a half handle of 375 milliliters and a 750 milliliter size. Down a whole 750 milliliters of Cisco, and you had better be ready to clear your calendar as you suffer through Cisco's legendary 2-day hangover.
All right. So I might backpedal a little bit. The first part of this made me more intrigued to try it. The second part of it, I'm still going to try it, but it's going to make me angry for trying it.
It's a 375 milliliter bottle contains 8 servings. 8.
Oh, that's so many servings. I don't think we're going to do that much of it. I'm afraid I don't even know where you like if you don't finish a bottle of Cisco, how do you even dispose of it? You can't pour it down a drain, I'm sure.
No, not.
It's like paint thinner.
It sure is.
You can't do that.
Oh my God. All right. So Cisco's legendary 2-day hangover sounds like a absolute nightmare.
You definitely want to hydrate before doing any Cisco stuff.
Good God. So challenge accepted, Brian. You need to drink an entire 750 milliliters of Cisco when we hang out next.
Now, it doesn't have to be at the same sitting. It could be over the span of 8 years. I can do that because 8 servings.
It's 1 a year.
Years. I'm sure this will keep. I'm sure it's not going to go bad anytime soon.
It described it as nuclear. So let's move on. Let's move on to.
I'm almost surprised they didn't spell nuclear the wrong way, like nuclear.
So we have the varying in ABV MD 2020. It's somewhere between 18 or 13% alcohol. So there's a 5% variance here. So let's talk about this. A lot of people know this as Mad Dog 2020, but we're going to find out a little bit about it, right? Because Mad Dog 2020 is not where the MD is, right? As majestic as the cascading waters of a drain pipe, MD 2020 is bottled by the 2020 Wine Company in Westfield, New York.
Oh, so it's its own entity. Actually, they have a website. If you guys, I'll tell you after Caleb finishes the description, you can get on the website. Go ahead.
This is a good place to start for the street wine rookie, but beware, this dog has a bite to back up its bark.
With their alcohol content.
Yeah, right? So what does MD stand for? What does it stand for? What's the MD? Is it medical doctor? Is it mostly doofus? What is it?
I always assumed it was Mad Dog and they changed it to rebrand it to sound not as shitty. So I always grew up knowing it as Mad Dog 2020.
Because that's what everyone calls it.
And then they changed it. I don't know when they changed it to MD 2020, but it's the same thing. So I don't know what it's originally stood for.
So MD does not stand for mostly deceased. It stands for Mogan David.
Oh, all right.
And it is affectionately called Mad Dog 2020. Right? You'll find this beverage as often in a bum's nest as in the crack, or you'll find this beverage often in a bum's nest as in the rock quarry where the high school kids sneak off to drink. This beverage is likely the most consumed by non-bums, but that doesn't stop any bums from drinking it.
Oh, so these are like the casual, like poser bums that you read about so often.
These are the jocks who think they're being edgy and cool, who like sneak off like, yeah, I'm the fucking, captain of the football team.
Oh,
but
right.
Tonight at 7:30, because I have to be in bed by 8 or my dad will kill me, we're going to be drinking down at the quarry. Everybody better bring their MD 2020.
So these are the same kids that play Edward 40 hands at a party. Like when you take
1000%.
2 40s of whatever and duct tape them to your hands. Right. Okay.
Gotcha. So Edward 40 hands.
Have you not heard of that game?
I've not heard of that. That's amazing. Dude, I grew
we'll
up
have to do a whole episode on drinking games at some point. But yeah, Edward 40 hands is a thing.
I've only played one drinking game, and it was Wizard Staff.
I've never played Edward 40 hands. Oh, Wizard Staff? I don't know that
played
one.
Wizard. So, God, okay, quick deviation from the content.
Is that when you build a staff out of cans?
Out of beer cans, yeah. So what it is you have to chug an entire beer. And then what you have to do is you have to add it, like you so I've got one beer, right? I'm the first one. I chug the can, and then I hand the empty can to the next person, and they have to chug. Okay. They have
a bit of a relay.
Yeah, they have to put the empty can on top of a current can or below the one that they're going to drink. So now they have 2, right? And then they chug the can, and when it's empty, they pass it to the next person. who now has to add their beer can to the 2 empty ones. And it just keeps going until somebody's got like 17 cans lined up and they have to keep it all together while they chug.
Oh my God.
At least that's how we played it.
Okay. We'll definitely do a deep dive into drinking games because there's one called Hour of Power, which I don't know if you've heard of.
Nope.
Either. 60 shots of beer in 60 minutes.
Oh my God.
60. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but a shot is 2 ounces.
Yeah.
So that's 120 ounces of beer. That's a lot of beer. Anyway, I digress. Getting back. Oh, well, I will say this to the listeners. And again, if you check out this website, both the MD one and the other one that I'll tell you, but the bottle is the only one that I've seen so far that actually looks legitimately like an old timey
it sure does.
bottle. Like it's got like flat on the sides and it's a cap. It's almost missing like, contains morphine in it.
Exactly.
Or whatever. Which, yeah.
Made with real cocaine. So basically it says, where were we here?
Sorry. The bum posers like this, like the jocks that like this drink.
Hank indicates that Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah. Professor Hank.
Is Professor Hank, right? Is the best of the bum wines at making you feel warm inside. Some test subjects report a slight numbing agent in Mad Dog 2020.
That would be the morphine.
Right. Similar to the banana paste that a dentist puts in your mouth before injecting it with Novocaine.
What dentist is giving? I've never had banana paste at a dentist
I mean, like, usually when they put that shit on your gums before they, numb you up with the giant ass needle.
Is it banana? I've had like the bubblegum flavored stuff.
No, I've had mint. I've had bubblegum. I even had like some kind of tutti fruity nonsense one time.
Yeah.
But
banana
I've
is such
never
a polarizing flavor to just put in somebody's mouth when they're getting.
Hey, kid, have some avocado numbing paste.
Have the thing that half of everyone hates. Here you go.
Right. So it says, but anyone that can afford a dentist should steer clear of this disaster. Available in various nauseating tropical flavors that coat your whole system like a bathtub scum. But only the full red grape wine flavor packs the 18% wallop.
Jeez, 18%.
Liquor, yeah, right.
That doesn't fuck around. MD doesn't fuck around, guys. It should be 20% because of the name, but whatever.
Right. It's fine. Liquor stores are starting to be infiltrated by a 13% variety of red grape. And there's also a new blue raspberry flavor with bling bling.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. It's literally all in caps. It just says bling bling. Even the lowest functioning of bums will know not to get swindled out of that missing 5%.
Okay.
So nobody wants that fucking cheap 13% Mad Dog 2020. Give me the 18 or nothing else.
All right. If you go on the website, drinkmd 2020, and 2020 is 2020.com. It looks like a really well-maintained, legitimate website. There's a bunch of different flavors. They've rebranded several times. It looks very appetizing.
Hang on, does it still have the medicine bottle appearance?
It does look like the medicine bottle shape is still intact, but the labels are all really well done. The font's nice and the colors are great. Nothing's misspelled as far as I can tell.
I mean, classic bum wine. Dude, they need to misspell something on it.
Also, when you first get on their site, it's like sponsor or a proud sponsor of the WWE. So, I mean, that's, I guess they're trying to rebrand it to a younger crowd. But honestly, this looks all kind of fucking delicious, dude. I would try any one of these flavors.
When you said, proud sponsor of the WWE.
I'm not disparaging WWE at all. I'm just saying
not at all. Yeah. I think one of the things that immediately triggered in my head, and it's something I watch every single year on Black Friday. There was an SNL skit years ago that had Anne Hathaway in it, and Bobby Moynihan was the guy on the commercial. It was a commercial for Mega Mart, and it was a commercial for their Black Friday sale that they were having. And it is increasingly more psychotic as you go through, like, hey, we've just finished waxing and mopping the floors, and there's people who've been waiting outside for 19 hours in like a pregame line sponsored by Four Loko, and then it was like America's premier hillbilly and cholo fuel. It was like, I was like, God, that's what Mad Dog sounds like that.
to your point on the reading through the website, there's a section where they sell these high energy grab and go cans, and they're all 15% Mad Dog 2020.
Grab and go.
Grab and go. They're like little, little
Like
bomber
little
cans and
buzzball
stuff.
kind of things.
Yeah, a little. Well, they're not even. I think they're. Well, this one says available in 200 milliliter, but I don't know how much they have on these. Anyway, so the Bling Bling Blue Raspberry is. It's not much on the description. Iconic electric blue raspberry with an extra punch. Bold berry flavor at 15% ABV for maximum impact. Available in 200 milliliter. So there you go.
Good God.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
but all these flavors sound great. Mad margarita, whipped orange cream, purple drip, jungle juice, which I don't know what that is, and then spiked strawberry.
Is purple drip?
Purple drip is I'm assuming what happens when you go to a hospital and you find a lot of used IV bags. No, it's a juicy grape flavor, which honestly, yeah. I'm a huge fan of any grape flavor thing ever. So that would be the first one I would try. With Mad Dog Power. That's a loaded statement. Iconic grape flavor paired with a 15% alcohol for the ultimate sip or slam. So if you slam it.
I think those
I'm down to try any of these though. These all
buzz balls though. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I think those Party have balls. To be one of the modern equivalent of this. It's pure marketing. It's cheap, shitty liquor in a cute little thing. Hey man, throw your chick a buzz ball, throw your boy a buzz ball, and they're just like nuclear colored, shitty alcohol.
It's basically booze juice that you can have, and you don't know that it's booze flavored until you're like, throwing yourself through a table or something at a wedding.
Yep.
But honestly, I gotta say, marketing goes, Mad Dog's the best thing I've seen so far out of this list. Mad Dog, you win for your branding, marketing,
for the marketing game.
You're number one on my list of things I want to try for sure.
Hey man, we haven't even gotten to Wild Irish Rose yet.
All right. Well, I don't want. Well, let's go. I'm just giving Mad Dog its kudos, is all, man.
Yep. Hey, I get you. The Wild Irish Rose says the thorn in your hangover is Wild Irish Rose from Ireland. Right. Oh. Clocking in at 18% ABV. It is bottled by the
same company that did the other
Canadiagua or whatever we decided that was called. From New York, same company as Cisco. And like its brother, Cisco, Wild Eye definitely has some secret additives that go straight to the cranium. Right? Another webpage claims that this foul beverage is a conspiracy by the Republicans to kill the homeless.
Oh, bud, I would not be surprised. Those Republicans up to no good again.
It says, bums ask a liquor store clerk for Wild Irish Rose by saying, "Give me a pint of rosy with a skirt," and with the skirt being the paper bag. Some don't want it. So they don't want it cold either. Sometimes it's called wild for a good reason, and bystanders should beware. Wild Irish Rose,
like people around someone drinking this.
Hey, is your friend drinking Wild Irish Rose? You better be careful.
Do you want a drink that also has an area of effect, a blast radius, if you will? Then try Wild Irish Rose.
Oh my God. I cast Wild Irish Rose. There's a 30-foot area of effect here. Wild Eye is sure to be a light of fire and inspire a drunken rage in your soul.
All right.
A guy named Richards is mentioned on the label.
Really? What?
Okay. Yeah, I can't see it. Oh, it's Richards Wild Irish Rose.
Oh, so it's like Jepson's Malort, but Richards Wild. Okay, I gotcha.
Because if you're just going to have,
I thought it was like an account of something that happened with a guy named Richards. It's like
R.I.P. like Richards Wild Irish Rose, now available in red.
Here's a cautionary tale, like smoking should not be done by pregnant women, but don't be Richards or whatever.
A helpful viewer named Carl wrote an email directing our attention to this webpage that claims that Richards Wild Irish Rose, named after his son, who is the current president at the time of writing of this, of Canadiagua's he's current president of Canadiagua, or whatever that word is, right?
I mean, it looks just as good as I thought it would be pronounced.
The white label variety of this beverage is definitely a hard wine to come to terms with. White label smells like rubbing alcohol and has no added flavoring to mask its pungent taste and noxious odor. Available in 375 and 750 milliliter varieties, respectfully, and the Devastator 50-ounce jug.
Nice. Love the Devastator. It's good stuff.
Now, I love that there's this next part that is all in italics on the website. Hang on, we're getting branching out. Field reporter, and then in quotes, Graham.
Oh, all right. So Hank has a run for his money, I guess.
Right. So we've got Hank is the researcher dude, and Graham here is the field reporter. It brings us this report, and then all of this from here on out until I say otherwise is in italics. So here we go. Here is Wild Eye's devastating new addiction. Wild fruit with ginseng. I'll be honest with you. The normal Wild Eye has turned into some sort of fierce energy drink gone wrong, mixed with the original to create a bum-worthy migraine-inducing concoction. I purchased a 750 milliliter, which goes for around $3.99. And good God, $3.99.
$3.99 for how much?
750 milliliters, which is like a handle of rum. Right, or whiskey. Hang on. But see, when you see the difference, $3.99 for 750 milliliters and a 375 mil, which goes for only $2.59.
That's a much more reasonable size bottle of this.
It says, word on the street here is that the bums are wary of it. Even they don't want this, right? I talked to a couple.
They dare not speak its name.
Right, exactly. I talked to a couple that said that they'd prefer to stick with what's tried and true. Apparently, they haven't accepted it as a real deal yet. As for me, I drank the 375 milliliters on a semi-full stomach and was just ruined by the stuff. The flavor retains its same potent Wild Eye nastiness, but has a whole new bouquet.
I love it. Flavor. Just ruined is a good quote for that.
Upon completion of the 375, I was thoroughly inebriated and found myself honestly wondering where my next fix of the stuff was going to come from, which scared me. So I immediately started drinking water. And then he's got, some dots.
This sounds like a Civil War letter back home from this guy, doesn't it?
Dear Marguerite, our
Day
unit
4
passed
of trying Wild Irish Rose. Half of my crew is wiped out by the brandy taste.
As I lay here in the trenches of Antietam, I think fondly back to the time we shared a pot still of Wild Eye, and I got so wrecked that I shat myself, and you had to wash it out of my britches.
Horatio succumbed to the ginseng yesterday around 2 p.m.
So here's the best part. After that relatively small bottle, I didn't piss until the next evening, despite drinking copious amounts of water. There is...
Good Lord.
Now, in all caps and italicized, there is definitely something in this stuff that dehydrates you. Possibly the ginseng or whatever it is that they added to this already foul concoction.
Mr. Graham hasn't pissed in 3 years.
So there you have it. The 5 notorious bum wines. There are some runners-up.
Yeah, I was going to say there's some honorable mentions. Like there's one here that I'm very intrigued with. It's the last one on this site you told me about. It looks like it's not even from this century, the bottle, the picture of it. Not before the one with it's Buckfast. Is that what it's called? Buckfast.
Buckfast looks like pure cough syrup.
It looks like something that's been in a museum, honestly. It looks like it's part of an exhibit.
So apparently it's a thing from
the Troubles.
It's an English bum wine. So Buckfast is on the honorable mentions list. Apparently, bumwine.com.
They have here, doesn't it?
They have some friends in. Well, it says
people
under
in Scotland.
Buckfast. Yes,
Oh, okay.
it says that there's a huge demand from our friends in Scotland that made it impossible to ignore taking a look at this Buckfast drink. It definitely has a similar look to the Mad Dog 2020 bottle, where it's kind of flat and it's got the twist cap or whatever. The label is overcrowded with nonsense, and
the green glass on the bottle itself makes it even more sinister looking to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it looks black as night, and it just
really
looks like
does.
you would. It's like a God. I wouldn't want to drink that at all. I already loathe Jaeger. I hate Jaeger.
God,
so
I don't
much.
like Jaeger. I've never liked Jaeger.
So seeing any kind of black liqueur, other than like a creme de cassis or something like that, which is classy but is so
Yeah.
underused, I
Or
can't
like
drink.
a dark like a Gosling's black rum or something like that is nice.
Sure,
But
sure,
usually use it
something
to
like
mix.
that.
I don't drink that straight typically.
No, yeah, I don't. I'm not sipping Gosling, right? So,
So
but
this
yeah,
Buckfast
so
looks like we'd have to go travel abroad to go because I don't think we can buy this in the States, can we?
well,
It
it
looks like
says
it's
that
a
it's
UK thing.
made. Yeah, it says it's made in Devon, England, at Buckfast Abbey by Benedictine
Oh,
monks.
fuck yeah,
So,
dude. Sounds
but
legit.
apparently,
Let's go.
true to its name, Buckfast will get you bucked up real fast.
I do like the oh, there's nothing. Well, all right. So there is a
Yeah.
Buckfast Abbey website, but it's currently not working. Apparently.
Yeah, it's it's the monks. They know how to make liquor, but can't maintain a website. Now,
Monks.
one of the other honorable mentions is one that my father has talked about at length at
Oh, yeah?
Thanksgiving and holidays. My dad had a very wild high school days. He would drive around. He would say, like, one of his favorite stories to say is that he had a convertible, when he was young, and he would, on a weekend, he would get a fifth of Old Granddad whiskey
I've heard of Old Granddad, yeah.
and a bottle of Boone's Farm, and he would drink those in a single night and just
What?
yeah. Yes.
Oh my god.
Old Granddad whiskey.
Shout
So
out to
shitty
your
whiskey.
dad for his remarkable tolerance or
And
poor
just-
choices, I guess.
Yeah, he'd just drive around, be drinking and driving. Yeah, so my dad made horrible choices growing up. But Boone's Farm is not actually a bum wine. It's just on here because it's only 7% volume ABV.
It looks like
right?
a bottle,
ABV.
like a wine cooler. It looks like.
Right, it does,
from
but
here.
it's in a classy bottle. It's got a twist top, but it still has like the aluminum seal around part of the neck and the cap. So it's really pretty. I like looking at that. I would definitely think of it as a fruit wine, like a dessert wine, something that
Sure.
And I hate to say it, something my mom would drink. Right?
Yeah, no. Having grown up in the 80s and 90s, this looks like something that would have fit right in there. That kind of style. It's a very pretty color of like salmony pink, I guess. Would be the way to put that.
Right. So it does say that this just definitely at 7% alcohol by volume. It doesn't have enough alcohol to qualify to be on the notorious fives list. Obviously,
This is why your dad used this as a chaser because it was lower ABV.
Yes, if you're gonna drink a fifth of Old Granddad, your come down drink is gonna be Boone's Farm.
You got to come down with the old BF there, the old Boone's Farm. Good
So
stuff.
I mean, basically, it says that it's a sugary beverage that's more thought of, or like an underage drinker's economy wine, lower alcohol, so the taste isn't going to be terrible, and with the fruitiness and everything and the sugary, it's going to be like a thing that kids would drink, feeling like, ooh, I'm edgy now,
Yeah,
So,
this is your when you're in middle school and you get your first cigarette, you're and I'm not speaking from experience. I'm speaking of like when quote unquote normal teenager rebellion starts, I guess.
Right.
You're like, oh, the older kids gave me a sip of this awesome I had to drink the first time, it's alcohol, So that's like your starter one. Or your come down in your dad's case. So hats off to your dad.
Exactly. Well, the last one on the list here, before we cap our talk about these, and again, if anyone out there listening who has their own stories of
please,
just getting wrecked or anything like that, or like you guys have a local version of one of these things in your area, we want to hear your story. Write in or email us or whatever you want to do. Get those stories to us because I would love to follow up with some of your guys' stories because I love that. So
Yeah, I would really
let us know.
This. Is it the last one on the list here? Okay.
This is the last one that it gets to right before it goes into the rankings of like.
I love it how there
do
isn't
we
a
rank
picture
the
of what the
five?
bottle looks like. It's a picture
Right.
of something
It's a picture of Red Fox from
Sanford and Son.
From Sanford and Sons, because apparently it's on the shelf behind him, and there's just an arrow pointing to the shelf, right? So
Yeah, you'd have
this
to really zoom in on this like terrible JPEG they have up here to see that.
The last of the honorable mentions is a beverage called Ripple, and it says this fuzzy fortified fiasco from again Ian J. Gallo. These guys are
Man,
they have two of the notorious five,
they have a
and then they have
monopoly
this,
on these things.
this
Well,
this
Ripple, I don't think
runner
is
up.
made anymore, but yeah.
Right. It bubbled onto the scene in 1960 as, quote, the wine that winks back at you.
I don't like that.
End quote. This was a sugary 11% ABV fruit punch masquerading as booze for hippies, too broke for actual acid trips. Priced at $1 a bottle.
Nice.
It came in classy flavors like red, pear. This one gets me. Pagan pink.
Whoa! What? That's cool.
Targeting the
I'm looking at a
counterculture
picture
crowd.
of a bottle of Pagan Pink. By the way, I will interject. I'm Googling while Caleb is reading this. The bottle itself is actually very cool. It's this like it actually has a ripple effect on the bottle. If you just type in ripple
nice.
malt liquor, you can see the bottle is very neat. It's kind of like someone took it and twisted it a little bit.
Oh, nice. So it's got
Yeah,
like a spiral going up it. That's awesome.
Kinda, yeah. It looks pretty neat.
I'm
Anyway,
a sucker
sorry.
for good design, man,
Yeah,
So-
I like a good bottle.
Yeah, so basically it was a way for them to kind of go, for hippies and people who were part of the counterculture movement of the 60s to kind of stick it to their parents, dry martinis or whatnot by chugging carbonated regret that was rumored to be available in a gas station vending machines in some states. So yeah. Then it says, again, Ripple hit its peak trash glam in the 70s. Immortalized by Fred Sanford on Sanford & Son, who mixing up gems like Cham Ripple or Champipple, which is champagne and Ripple, or Cripple, which is cream and Ripple. Pour me a glass of Cripple.
That's what's going to happen to your intestines if you have cream and Ripple together. Jesus.
While rockers from the Grateful Dead and Eazy-E name dropped it in songs, like it was the elixir of the street, right?
I would not put the Grateful Dead and Eazy-E in the same sentence, but all right.
We are worlds apart at this point.
Yeah, it's diametrically opposed a little bit, but go ahead.
But by 1984, in an effort to polish their image, Gallo got rid of it. Ian J. Gallo dropped Ripple from their repertoire. So they wanted to
focus
more
on Cisco or whatever they're making. Night Train.
they wanted their T-Bird and Night Train, man. Coming in those devastator 50-ounce jugs, right? They wanted, but Gallo wanted to be like, we want our fancy corked wines, so they left Boone's Farm to carry the torch for like shitty wine. And all the rest of us bums reminiscing about the ring-a-ding flavor that now fetches $200 a bottle for, if you could find it on the open market or on the black market or the Ripple market.
the dark web or the eBays. I'm looking at, there is a bottle that someone posted on Worth Point. I don't know what that is. It's a vintage Gallo wine bottle from Ripple, original cap of a 4/5 of a quart. It doesn't say how much it sold for though, but it's a nice looking bottle. I gotta say, despite the shitty cap, the twist off at the top, but it's a nice bottle.
Isn't it just like a company though to masquerade garbage inside of a pretty package, right?
You know what? But like you said, I'm a sucker for a good bottle. I've frequented our local package store, liquor store here in Atlanta, and I have bought beverages solely based on a cool bottle. I have done that.
Yep, I've done that with labels, like beer labels, craft beer stuff. Yeah.
Man, I've learned so much about fortified wines today.
You know what? I hope it has been a wondrous and magical journey through potential regret. And, we started by saying that we were going to be calling them street wine or fortified wines. But as I'm reading this,
hobo wines, because I don't think hobo is a derogatory term, is it?
No, hobos were like guys who, they weren't just homeless, but they were like, they have like, there's like a whole language and stuff. Yeah. They traveled. There's like markings and signs that you'll see in abandoned buildings and stuff hobos are not not the same as bums. Right. And I hate using that term because, but this is the nomenclature of this website. So while I'm not endorsing it or using it as a way to be derogatory, it is just kind of a way to evoke a certain image. Right.
We're not supporting the treatment of the proliferation of vices in typically economically challenged communities, and we're not at all disparaging unhoused folks, but you have to, for this kind of stuff, it's just hard not to laugh at some of the descriptions that you did for
Absolutely.
these. It's pretty great.
And, I mean, yeah. And so I hope, I hope that I have sufficiently discouraged or deviantly encouraged some of you to take a look at this website and to try out maybe some of these for yourself, and let us know about your experiences or the experiences of loved ones or enemies who have gone down these rabbit holes and fallen into Wonderland, so to speak.
I think in a later episode, you mentioned before that we will also be doing, or should do, a taste test.
So, yeah, I mentioned that stay to the end of the episode and we would talk about something. So in September, I'm going to be visiting you, Brian, for Dragon Con once again. And not only that week are we going to do some Dragon Con inspired episode snippets and things like that. We might even do a full episode. Who knows? But I think we had talked about gathering the Notorious Five and having a sampling, a live sampling, and doing that as one of our episodes, or as a addendum or a tag epilogue, so to speak, to this episode.
We could even do a man on the street or a person on the street thing for willing participants, clearly telling them that they will be trying alcohol, but do like, this is, would you like to do a quote unquote blind taste test? But we would tell them obviously what it entails.
That could be fun and simultaneously get us arrested. I'm in.
All right. Well, maybe not the arrested part, but we would get permission and consent and all that, of course. I think that would be great. Also, while you were dispensing these lovely, eloquent things said about these tremendous beverages,
tremendous is doing the heavy lifting in that sentence.
Beverage is doing the heavy lifting. Honestly, it's I think that it conjured up also the idea of 40-ounce beer, like, I don't know if they're malt beverages too, but stuff like, Steel Reserve and Colt 45 and the classics that you can buy in very large cans at some of the similar stores that you could buy Mad Dog 2020 and
Absolutely.
Night Train at. We want to do a whole episode. I will say this. We will be doing a whole episode on drinking games, because there are some insane ones, and I only looked at like 2, and I know
Right.
only a handful of them that I've been exposed to, but man, games where people can get completely shit hammered drunk on. We could talk about.
We can have some really fun episodes with this stuff. So, well, Brian, it has been a
great,
pleasure talking
Absolutely.
with you today. I've had an absolute banging conversation here. It's been fun. So thanks again for everybody listening, and we're glad you're here with us. And just want to remind you that although Distracto cannot solve your problems,
it can distract you from them. We'll see you guys next week.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Brian.
We love you guys. Thanks so much.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Hey, you there! Yes, you. Do you feel bored? Restless? Are you filled with an overwhelming sense of impending dread by a society on the brink of collapse? Are you looking for a brief moment of escape from the nightmare hellscape our daily lives have become? Well, have no fear! Distracto is here! What is Distracto, you ask? Why, Distracto is a podcast and so much more. Distracto is your dose of distraction from the drudgery of the daily dumpster fire. If you like pop culture, reviews, comedy, deep dives, interviews, or going down internet rabbit holes that just might get you put on a list, then Distracto is the podcast for you. Join hosts Caleb and Brian each week as they delve into delightful and deranged topics that'll make you briefly forget that the world is on fire. Subscribe to Distracto today, where all fine podcasts are found. Follow us on social media at DistractoPod on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Or contact us directly at distractopod@gmail.com. Remember, Distracto can't solve your problems, but it can distract you from them.